Imagine a quiet college town suddenly thrust into the national spotlight by a brutal crime. 4 young students, full of potential, found murdered in their off-campus home. The suspect? A criminology student who seemed to blend seamlessly into the world of academia. This is the chilling case of Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho student killings. Stay with us as we unravel the details of this shocking crime and the pursuit of justice that has captivated the nation. Kohberger was a graduate student at Washington State University, just across the state line from the University of Idaho. On November 13, 2022, the serene college town of Moscow, Idaho, was shattered by the news of a horrific crime. 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernadal, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves, were discovered brutally murdered in their shared off-campus residence. The night of the murders remains a haunting mystery. Reports indicate that the victims were attacked in the early hours of the morning while they were sleeping. Eyewitness accounts suggested that the victims had been out earlier that night, enjoying the local nightlife, making the sudden violence all the more shocking. They had been seen at a local food truck, their laughter and joy starkly contrasting the horror that would soon unfold. The community was left in shock and fear as investigators descended on the small town. The brutal nature of the crime left everyone on edge, and the pressure was on to find the person responsible. But as days turned into weeks, the case seemed to stall, with few leads emerging. The Moscow Police Department faced mounting scrutiny as they struggled to reassure the public and maintain order in the wake of such a tragedy. During this time, social media erupted with speculation, theories, and rumors, adding to the chaos surrounding the investigation. People began to fear for their safety, and many students chose to stay off campus or return home to their families. The anxiety in the community was palpable, and the pressure on law enforcement intensified. Bryan Kohberger appeared to be an ordinary graduate student, deeply immersed in his studies in criminology. He was known for his intelligent discussions and passion for understanding criminal behavior. Yet, behind the facade of academia, investigators began to piece together a different picture. Kohberger's interest in criminal psychology and behavior took on a sinister twist as evidence began to mount against him. As the investigation progressed, authorities analyzed surveillance footage from nearby businesses and homes, hoping to identify any suspicious activity around the time of the murders. This painstaking work eventually led them to discover a white Hyundai Elantra, which was seen near the crime scene on the night of the attack. When they traced the vehicle's registration back to Kohberger, investigators began to dig deeper into his background. Through meticulous detective work, investigators linked Kohberger to the crime scene using advanced forensic techniques, including DNA analysis and cell phone tracking. It was these crucial pieces of evidence that began to unravel the mystery and point toward Kohberger as the prime suspect. As the evidence mounted, so did the urgency to apprehend him before he could potentially flee or harm others. Forensic experts played a pivotal role in this case, using cutting-edge technology to analyze DNA samples and digital footprints. The evidence painted a chilling picture of a suspect who meticulously planned his actions, leaving behind a trail that would ultimately lead to his arrest. DNA from the crime scene was linked to Kohberger, and cell phone data revealed that he had been in the area multiple times leading up to the murders. This raised alarming questions about his intentions and whether he had been stalking the victims. Kohberger was arrested in December 2022, shocking those who knew him as a quiet, unassuming student. The arrest brought some relief to the community, but it also raised countless questions about how someone in his position could commit such a heinous crime. Friends and acquaintances recounted their memories of him, expressing disbelief that someone they considered a friend could be capable of such violence. Some even recalled conversations where Kohberger exhibited an unsettling fascination with crime and violence. As news of the arrest spread, Kohberger's family released a statement expressing their support for him and their hope for a fair trial. This only added to the complexity of the case, as the community grappled with their emotions, relief, anger, and confusion, all intertwined. Many were left wondering how someone who had been part of their community could turn into a suspect in such a horrific crime. In June 2025, Bryan Kohberger's trial is set to begin, with the proceedings moved to Boise due to concerns of local prejudice. The trial promises to be a media spectacle, with prosecutors seeking the death penalty, a decision that has sparked debate across the nation. Legal experts expect a highly publicized trial, complete with intense media coverage and courtroom drama. Legal experts anticipate a complex and emotionally charged trial, as both the prosecution and defense prepare to present their cases. The prosecution is expected to focus on the brutality of the crime and the evidence linking Kohberger to the scene, while the defense will likely argue for his mental state and question the validity of the evidence. They may explore potential psychological issues, possibly suggesting that Kohberger was struggling with his mental health. The families of the victims continue to seek justice for their loved ones, sharing poignant memories of the young lives cut short. Their strength and resilience have inspired a community still grappling with the aftermath of the tragedy. Many family members have become advocates, speaking out about the importance of campus safety and the need for justice for the victims. They emphasize the need for awareness around mental health issues, especially for those who may be struggling in silence. The community of Moscow has come together to honor the victims, holding vigils and creating memorials to celebrate their lives. The outpouring of support has been a testament to the lasting impact these 4 students had on those around them. Local businesses and organizations have also shown their support by contributing to memorial funds and offering counseling services to students affected by the tragedy. As we await the trial and the pursuit of justice, let us remember the victims and the importance of community support in times of tragedy. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories.